Hey everyone, Spot of Nerd here with a brand new episode, and you knew it was coming, and it is finally here with James Gunn taking the lead from one of comics' most iconic idol hero legends to ever be made. We are going to talk about Superman. Before we get rolling, the beautiful bean footage that Spot of Nerd is, gonna preface it. There are going to be spoilers here. Surprisingly, it's not all negative. There is a lot, and I mean a lot, to unpack in this film, but there are a little bit of positives, and let us not get beside us, or whatever that word is, in relation to the fact that this movie just might be one of the worst films ever made, just in the fact that it completely falls over itself. The amount of content and story and character and everything in between that it tries to put in a 2-hour film. It's absolutely insane, but something that I really think you should think about in relation to, I've said relation 3 times now if you're counting, in relation to them, it's either basically or relation. It's a broken record. I swear to God, maybe one day we'll change this channel name to Broken Record. But something I was thinking about in watching this movie, I caught myself. It's not about the film that is one of the worst things that's ever been made. It really isn't. Surprisingly, and I'm gonna throw up a little bit in my mouth, Superman actually isn't a bad film. What ruins this film, aside from the fact that they tried to shove 24 live-action Avengers film, Avenger character movies into one 2-hour movie, it's the marketing behind it. I wanted this, I'm going to, again, preface, I wanted this movie to fail, and I do hope it does fail, because the marketing before the movie even came out was all about politics, and was all about divisiveness. It was all about dividing the fans. It doesn't matter if you're a Snyder fan or a Cavill fan or a Reeves fan or whatever it is. What it comes down to is the marketing wanted you to be divisive. This is very reminiscent of Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Go with me here. The entire purpose of that film was to divide the fandoms. Fandoms, plural. I don't know if that's the right word. That's what this movie does. Albeit, I will give it credit where it is due, and we'll talk about that. I just want you to kind of think about that, where this could have been something it's going to be shocking hearing this from me. This Superman movie could have been great, but because of all the bullshit, the politics, the woke agendas, everything in between that they gave you before this movie has been released, that, and that alone, will be its demise. So yeah, let's just give you a brief take on it. And I know when I say brief, that's not very brief. Stay tuned on the channel. We are gonna do a live, full in-depth review on this movie, and I hope we might even have a special guest. I've been talking about him before, but we're gonna start doing collaboration with a commenter on the channel who is a fan, and I super appreciate him watching. I appreciate his feedback, so I'm hoping to get this gentleman on to do a duo combination community type thing, and let's just get it out of the way. If you would be ever so kind, I would love you guys. Hit the subscribe, give me the likes, the comments, the whole 9 yards. Join the conversation, join the chats. But there's not really, you can't do 10 minutes on this Superman review. You just can't do it. There's no way you can talk about this film in 10 minutes and get everything out you need to. So the story, pretty straightforward. If you know Superman, it's a cliche Superman film. What I want to kind of dive into really more is the demise, like the downfall, the horribleness behind it, and why I do believe it is one of the most horrible films I've ever seen in my life. The overall, like, what on earth were they thinking when they made this movie? Because again, there is so much to talk about, from the synopsis to the characters to you really do have to wonder, were they like on acid or cocaine when they wrote this? Because there's no other way this could have been done. From monkeys who literally are trolling the internet, to social media everywhere, to people that don't seem to be freaking out when there's skyscraper Godzilla type monsters destroying the cities because they would rather get the cell phone footage, to Superman's clone, to technology portals interchanging, to a Superman that quite frankly does not have the strength to hold this movie. I can't even think of the guy's name who plays Superman. You have, side characters and side actors and actresses that, albeit you're going to know who some of them are, you really aren't going to give two shits about them. Put it all together and you have the latest Superman movie. But where does it go and what happens with everything? It just falls completely flat on its face. This movie has absolutely no idea what it is trying to do. Just like me in this channel and some of the content that I try to provide, half the time I don't know what I'm trying to get across because it's all up here and I try to get it out here. That's what this movie is. This movie has so many storylines, so many characters, so much happening that number one, you're going to have a hard time keeping up if you don't know any sort of backstory. Number two, and then number three, what the fuck? So a little bit of the good. I'll give them the cinematography. I'll give the CGI, pretty decent. I'll give some of the action sequences, again, pretty decent. Superman, the character, I cannot stand that costume. There are scenes in this movie where you see it is almost like the guy bought it from Party for Less. There's you may have even seen it trailer-wise where he's walking on the beach. You can actually see some of the folds in the actual Superman suit. It looks terrible. Some of the other characters, Nathan Fillion, who plays a part of the...
Goddamn, that's beautiful. You're welcome, Canada.
It was like the Justice Gang, the Ring people.
My precious.
I'm a terrible nerd, I apologize, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Put it all together, even Lois. I will give you credit. They do actually have a pretty decent relationship between the two, Superman, aka Clark Kent, and then Lois Lane. But their on-time screen together is a matter of 5 minutes. We don't really have it's 3 years since Superman became known to the world. He's trying to be cool and suave. And as I mentioned in the beginning, in relation to the marketing, which destroyed this movie before it was even released, that's the other part of it, is this movie destroys itself because it is trying to portray the real world that we live in today in relation to social media and trying to film and capture everything and popularity and hashtags and blah 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 blah. I swear to God, before this movie came out, you can look it up, there were articles about leaks that got out, and people were laughing their asses off because they thought to themselves, there's no way that James Gunn is going to have a whole bunch of monkeys that are controlling the narrative from a social media standpoint in this movie. They're not going to do it. There's no way, it's laughable. They're not going to actually have CGI monkeys trolling the internet. No, they actually do have CGI monkeys trolling the internet, making Superman look bad through hashtags, super shit, or whatever the hell they used in the film.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
That's what's going to kill this film from a fandom perspective. That's what's going to destroy it if you are a fan of Superman, if you're a fan of DC. Like I said, this has nothing to do with Snyder versus everything else in between. I genuinely believe Man of Steel is one of the greatest, if not the greatest Superman film ever made. Henry Cavill, in my eyes, is Superman. There is no question. He is Superman. Second to Christopher Reeves. This new guy, number one, can't even think of his name. I could probably look it up in 2 seconds, but you get my drift. He doesn't have the strength. He does not have the character, no pun intended, to hold this type of film, this type of franchise, this type of universe, this type of legend. At the same time, I gotta give a little credit in relation to they did take it and they went into a different approach. They obviously had it a little bit more lighthearted. It's a lot more colors, a lot more action. At the same time, I'm pretty confident Marvel and Star Wars are going to sue DC, Warner Brothers, everything in between. You have nanotechnology stolen from Iron Man in this film. You have Alan Tudyk, who played K2SO in Rogue One, as well as Andor, who is voicing robots in this film. There's not really a lot of originality. There's literally about 1,000 stories going on right now in the movie, but they aren't going anywhere. They're not leading to anything. It's literally Lex Luthor hates Superman, wants to kill him, tries to find a way to do it. Somehow he has portal technology where he's kind of coercing a war in the Middle East. Wink, wink. We'll get into that again in the live section, but it continues to fall over itself over and over and over. If there's one way I could describe this movie, it is truly the definition of insanity. It tries to do the same thing over and over and over and expect a different result. Are you going to enjoy this movie? If you don't have a clue about anything related to Superman, maybe not even what Superman is or was, comic books or not, movies or cartoons, etc., yeah, you actually might enjoy this movie. If you have no idea about any of this stuff, yeah, you might actually get a kick out of it. Not even gonna lie to you. If you're a fan, you know what? God bless you for whatever you feel about it. If you like it, great. If you don't, this movie is trash. We have to get down to the gritty basics. There's nothing here. It's just a lot of flashiness, a lot of sequences, a lot of action. There's no substance. There's no strength. No pun intended. Again, Superman. There's the famous phrase, and I'm a terrible nerd. I always film these things super early in the morning. He empowers everything that humans are. And I know this is cliche, like I said, you want to just throw up a little bit in the back of your throat. This character, this actor does not have the ability to give it he doesn't give it in that way that makes you feel good inside, that gives you the power and the strength of, I can do anything because I'm Superman. Everything is a joke in this movie. Like whenever they try to get a little bit serious, a little bit more like the old days of Superman where you had Christopher Reeves getting into his suit and the music starts playing in the background and you're starting to feel great and like, oh my god, this is super great and emotional and blah blah blah. That doesn't exist in this movie because it's always outdone by a joke. A stupid joke, I might add, but a joke regardless.
Data, we don't have time for this.
I cannot help myself. I think something is wrong.
Data?
James Gunn, albeit I'll give him credit, this is simply, that was where I was going to go. Guardians of the Galaxy. This is literally Guardians of the Galaxy Superman. There's nothing about it other than what this is. I'm sure I'm just giving you guys nothing but verbal diarrhea and I'm going in 30 different directions. What it ultimately does come down to, and I will wrap this episode up, I promise. This film is supposedly the start of a new DC universe, and quite frankly, just stop. Just stop right now before you move any way forward. You don't have any direction. You have zero idea what you're doing, and quite frankly, you're playing with characters you don't have a clue what to do with. I'm just a simple dude throwing some content out on the social media, and a couple of you watch, which I super appreciate. I don't expect anything more, and I am truly grateful for everybody that does support this channel and watch. But let's not kid ourselves when it comes to this new Superman movie. Henry Cavill should still be Superman. Let's be very clear about that. He should still be Superman. I think Snyder should have kept going. I really do. Albeit, again, I'm not the whole Snyderverse whatever. I'm just simply saying It was a solid story, it was a solid character, and they were just starting to get the gears going, or whatever the fuck that metaphor is. This Superman and James Gunn controlling the DC universe, you're gonna see destruction, you're gonna see crap, and you're gonna see something that is just oversimplified to the point where you're watching it going, is this over yet? Because I got shit to do. And I'll simply leave you guys with that. It's just, I don't know. It's one of those things. I wanted to like this movie. I really, really did. I wanted it to fail, but there's that little piece of you that's like, I want you to fail, but I also want you to be really good. It's just sad because we have one more movie this month. We got San Diego Comic-Con in less than 2 weeks, and we're gonna have the Fantastic Four during Comic-Con. These are the last chances to see live action comic book movies succeed. It really, really is. I know I'm a broken record with every other channel on the planet talking about this type of stuff. These are the last movies to really see if this stuff can live, can go on through Hollywood, through live action movies, through everything in between. You can't, right? This right now, this Superman movie is proving that you still don't get it. You don't have a clue. And I don't think you ever will. I'm just saying that as my opinion from yours truly, Spot of Nerd, and that's really all I can say for now. Like I said, we're gonna do whole shabam live action, I guess live really, on this channel, where we'll go deeper, way deeper into the subjects and the content of the movie. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you got this far and you understand what the fuck I was telling you, good on you, because even sometimes the stuff that's getting out, I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about, but I hope it makes sense. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna shut up now, but thank you guys so much for watching. We will catch you guys in the next episode. Laters, y'all. Okay, seriously, social media, like I mentioned it in the review, everything in this movie is always about social media and popularity and everything in between. When there's a giant Godzilla monster destroying your city, I'm pretty confident the majority of people would be running for their lives instead of trying to capture the next big thing and post it on their Instagram wall. This is the dumbest shit on the planet, and this is where this movie, I don't know if they're just like disrespecting the audience, their intelligence, or they're simply trying to fit in with the way society is today in regards to social media. It is just silly, it's stupid, and it just only furthers my point that this movie is just dog shit. No pun intended, because there's a fucking dog in this movie as well. I fucking hate that fucking dog. Fucking stupid ass fucking dog saves Superman's ass like every time he gets his ass beaten, which most of this movie Superman is laying on his back because he's getting his ass kicked all the time, but sweet mother of God, that fucking dog.